Gentlemen, first leg is Nigel to throw first. Game on.
And he's been the type of player to get things done against the odds in his career.
Just a little bit. And he's up against it already because he hasn't got the throw. You do a bullseye shoot upstairs in the practice room to determine who throws
60.
first. So the first battle was won by Nigel. But it happens very often. You win as many bulls as you lose.
100.
Just adapt to the game, the way it transpires.
Yeah, they have met before on 9 occasions, these two. Heydon's won 3 of those. But no one in the recent meetings hasn't beaten Robert Thornton in the last 4 years. Their only on-stage meeting came way back in
59.
2010 at the World Championships. Robert Thornton coming through by 3 sets to 1. With darts like this.
180.
Wonderful 180 from the man affectionately known as Chocolate.
Yep, and that was a sweet score for Robert Thornton there, as he mops his brow in the background. Obviously took a bit out of him.
78.
Seeds safely through so far. Jenkins, Bunting and Alan Norris.
82.
Thornton looking to continue that trend. And he started well.
He's in command of this leg, and it would be a break if he can seal it. Interestingly enough, though, do you think
60.
Nigel is
Robert,
aware
you
of
require
the fact
139.
that he hasn't beaten Robert Thornton in 4 years? Some players tend to remember more than others.
79.
Some people live more in the moment. So it'd be interesting to get a penny for Nigel's thoughts as to whether he knows that fact.
Yeah, we'd need Vienna's very own Sigmund Freud to get inside the heads of these darts players. I actually think it could work in his
58.
favour that he knows he's beaten
Robert,
a
you
player
require
of
60.
Robert Thornton's quality 3 times.
Yeah, it can work in so many different ways.
50.
If Robert does have a weakness, it was signified by that last dart. Sometimes he rushes and doesn't stick with his very dangerous rhythm. When he won the Grand Prix last year, I think the most impressive part about it was that all the way through the tournament, he had rhythm from the first start of the tournament to the very last one. And sometimes he just hurries up a
83.
bit. And I don't think that
Robert,
suits
you
him.
require 10.
That's a good guide for double 5.
Game shot on the first leg. Robert Thornton.
Thank you, Robert. You just proved me right.
Second leg is Robert to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, the first thing he said when he came off stage at the World Grand Prix is, I should have won it last year. So he was a man on a mission in Dublin.
100.
Must be something about Scottish dart players looking at past experiences to, gee them on for the following year. I mean, you just said that Robert should have won the previous year in his own mind. Went back the following year and he actually did the job. Who else did that? Gary Anderson, when he famously lost
140.
to Michael van Gerwen at the Worlds and said, I'll be back next year. And what did he do? He didn't just win the next one, he won the next 2.
Yep, the double
80.
world champion not here this weekend in Vienna. For Thornton and Peter Wright flying the flag for the Scots. But yeah, he played in one of the most incredible
100.
matches ever the previous year, the year he thinks he should have won it, when him and James Wade both fired in 9 darters in a double start game.
140.
I'm of the opinion that we will never see that again, especially in a double start format. It's amazing that when something comes along, it's just that little bit more extraordinary. We always thought that it was possible to hit 2 9-darters in a leg in a game. Phil Taylor did that, and it should have been 3. However, we then said
70.
maybe we'll see a 9-darter from 2 opponents in the same match. But the extraordinary bit was it was double start.
Yeah.
Wonder what the betting odds were.
100.
Incredible, incredible. Don't think you'd been given odds on that. Michael van Gerwen once threatened 2 in successive legs in a World Championship match.
I think that is one of the most impressive things that I've ever seen. Because the adrenaline that goes through your
57.
veins
Robert,
when
you
you've even
require
had a shot at
81.
a 9-darter have the courage to do it again and the composure. That's why he's world number 1. Double 13.
55.
But he might come
Nigel
back.
require 134.
Nigel's got to get into this game. It feels like he's just looking at the game from the outside.
Well, he's only hit one score bigger than what's facing him at the moment. And he's not going to complete that, so Thornton will return for this double
98.
13.
Robert, you require 26.
Robert's playing steady. Nothing more than that, but he hasn't really had to
Shot
yet.
in the second leg, Robert Thornton.
But he's fired up enough.
Third leg is Nigel to throw first.
Sometimes
Game on.
you don't have to average over 100 or 110 to get the job done. You just have to play what's good enough. It's the beautiful thing about a one-on-one sport. It's the same in boxing. You've only got to dodge enough punches to get the one that you want to hit. Same in tennis.
96.
But the beautiful thing about darts is that you cannot do anything about what your opponent does.
It's an interesting section of the draw for Robert Thornton and the
134.
players that are in there with him, because the winner of this will play Ian White or Simon Stevenson. Michael Smith, Simon Whitlock, the other seeds in their quarter, but Phil Taylor and Michael Van Gerwen are in the opposite half of the draw, so certainly chances for players of Robert Thornton's ilk in this half.
100.
That's certainly the beauty of the way that the rankings work for European Tour events and qualification criteria, because someone in this quarter is going to have a very, very good
100.
weekend. And someone could really break through. It could be someone like Mark Frost, who's dangerous, who played really, really well yesterday. Simon Stevenson on debut. He could have the weekend of his life. But I see the big threat in that quarter
60.
as Simon Whitlock. I think he'll be looking at that draw, licking his lips, thinking, right, get me through. He needs to kickstart his season, I believe, and it's a perfect time for him to do that.
Yeah, he's shown flashes of form on the floor events, but not really displayed it on the stage until the World Cup of Darts. In a few of the matches, Simon Whitlock showed the ability that you know better than anyone that he's got. And he was a real captain in that tournament as well.
I mean, he's got trust in the darts that he's using at the moment, and when he gets those going, he's very, very dangerous. I mean, Ron Muhlenkamp, who he's playing later on, dangerous game, because Ron looks good
42.
to me than he
Nigel
probably ever
require
has.
167.
Well, let's focus on the match on stage. Nigel has got the upper hand in this leg. Well, he's 110. 90 left. He's got choices.
81.
Not happy with that, understandably. But Robert can put pressure on him now. I think Nigel knows this.
Yeah, Heydon's one of the methodical type of
58.
players. And
Nigel, you require
you
86.
mentioned before Robert maybe rushing a little bit at times. Maybe that can encourage him to do so. You're waiting a little bit longer than you normally would. That's a bit of a slip from Heydon. 83 left. So Robert will get a shot at this 126, and he's very, very careful of taking it out.
Robert,
He
you
loves a
require
ball shot.
126.
He won a UK Open on the ball. All he's got is 419s. There's 3 of them. There's 4. Oh,
76.
Boy. What a great effort.
Nigel, you require 56.
Didn't quite see whether it hit the 25 wire or the bull wire. The most important thing is it's on the floor. And Heydon's coming back to the hockey.
Well, how important will that bounce out be?
36.
Not
Robert,
as
you require
important as it should have
50.
been.
Yeah, it could be academic as Thornton looks to set up tops. Big 10, top of the shop. Great marker. Slide it in off the barrel.
10 score.
It went left.
Nigel, you require 20.
Well, he was building a gate with those 2 dots at the top. If he'd have had one more, it was definitely going in. But he doesn't have another visit.
Wonder how many darts players have had that thought before. If I just had one more dart in my hand. Anyway, Heydon for double 10 to half the deficit. And get off the mark.
Game
And he
shot in
hits
the
it.
third leg. Nigel Heydon.
There's a lovely guide.
Fourth leg is Robert
And
to
a
throw
fantastic
first.
second
Game
dart.
on.
He's back in the match now. Robert's still got a break. Here's one for you, Murph.
41.
You mentioned that you wish you could have one more dart. We used to have a player on the Pro Tour called Pete Allen from the London area. And I'm sure there's been other people who have done this in the past. He used to carry 4 darts in his hand, but he would only throw 3 of them. Not sure about the thinking
60.
around it, but
Was it
that
the
was
same 3 or?
I'm not exactly sure. A very interesting thing to do.
100.
So you can hold as many as you like, but you can only throw 3.
I can remember one match at the World Match Play where Raymond van Barneveld went on the stage against Simon Whitlock with a bag full of darts and was changing during the game which set of darts he was using.
180.
That set of darts working very well for Nigel Heydon there, filling up the treble
83.
for the first maximum for him.
It doesn't get more conventional than a lovely 180 from Nigel Heydon. And yet again, a little bit of a lapse in rhythm from Robert.
Looking for another one.
100.
I get the feeling Nigel's warming up slightly. Robert's got to get in there with the lipstick. He'll stay there.
81.
Try to nestle it over the left-hand
Nigel, you
side.
require 161.
Really fancied getting a 140 there, but not to be.
There's a chance of a break on here because he'll have 6 darts to clean up 161. Heydon.
55.
I notice Nigel's talking to himself a lot, and that's not really a characteristic that we see from Nigel Heydon a lot. Maybe he's just trying to G himself up a bit more.
71. Nigel, you require 106.
106 then for the Undertaker.
Treble 18. Yeah, chose to stay there for double 13.
42.
And even
Robert,
he
you
would
require
admit that that's sloppy.
125.
Bullseye route. That's a pretty good get if he can hit the 60.
85.
That's one way
Nigel,
to
you
leave
require
it. He does like
64.
tops. But whether he went for that or not, I'm not really sure. Big chance for Heydon to bring this back to 2-all. We'll go down the bottom left side of the board. It's going to be double top for 2-2.
24.
Same spot as the missed shot
Robert,
from
you
the
require
previous
40.
leg.
Well, Robert hit tops last time he came to the board.
Game
He hits
shot
it
on the
again.
fourth leg.
To make
Robert
3-1
Thornton.
up. It
Fifth
was
leg is
all getting a
Nigel to
little
throw
bit scrappy
first.
before then, but Robert Thornton has a 2-leg lead,
Game on.
protecting that break of throw he got in the first leg.
Most dart players are their own worst critic. Nigel will be critiquing himself for missing that top shot. Interestingly for Robert,
120.
I think his biggest critic is his wife Christine. She's the one who accompanies him everywhere and really
80.
gets him focused.
Yeah, and his biggest supporter.
Absolutely. How much credit do we have to give to Christine Thornton for his resurgence from illness from a few years ago back to what he's doing now?
Yep, certainly been a rock for Robert.
41.
And after his World Grand Prix win, she described him as a pit bull with the heart of a lion.
I think that's
60.
very, very accurate. I've never seen Robert Thornton give up in anything. He's quintessentially Scottish and proud of it.
Always been a very capable darts player. Won the World Masters back in
100.
2007. The UK Open that he won in 2012, where he just embarked on this incredible run to the title.
100.
Making light work of Phil Taylor in the final.
I remember back when he won the World Masters and how well he played in that tournament. It's really unusual when you watch him win that tournament on YouTube or any other footage.
140.
He was wearing a black shirt and he was using red flights. I mean, we're so used to him having blue flights and a blue shirt.
Yeah, blue stems. Very proud Scotsman, Robert
57.
Thornton.
Someone
Nigel,
who
you
never
require
changes
100.
anything. Look at Heydon. He's at tops again. Tops
Game
is
shot
better
on the
this
fifth
time. That's
leg.
nice.
Nigel Heydon. Sixth leg is
That'll give him
Robert
some
to throw
confidence.
first. Game on.
It's a shot that dart players like. It's nice and straight. And no matter how your darts land, you should have a nice
41.
clean bed.
Yeah, it was a much tidier leg from Nigel Heydon. And Thornton only going off with 41 at the start of this one. If he can put another one alongside that, he's in business. Chasing the break, he does do exactly that. Steps across slightly further again.
140.
That's a good visit. Averages aren't really anything to write home about. But this is a scrap.
60.
We know Robert likes a scrap.
Well, he's calling himself rubbish in the background there.
It's the standard they expect of yourself every time you step to that hockey. I mean, even Michael Van
81.
Gerwen and Phil Taylor and Anderson and Wright, all the big guns. You can't have 110 every time. Sometimes you just got to think,
100.
today is a bit of a scrappy day, but we're still going to fight.
Well, as we mentioned before, these top players know that they're capable of striking perfection and have done on many occasions in the past. But when they're going out in 18, 21 dart legs, it must feel like
41.
they're not playing very, very well at all.
Oh, they will know that. You can ask a lot of dart players,
100.
not professionals, just dart players. They don't want to see averages. They just want to see winning doubles. Averages don't matter to them. But they feel they're playing well, the same as other sports people.
You see certain players do different things when they're struggling to maybe get themselves going. We saw Vandenberg in a game earlier on taking his time before stepping up, really having a deep breath. You see other players really trying to G themselves. So what was your kind of modus operandi in that situation to get yourself going?
For me, it was just about staying in the moment and just finding comfort. That's one of the reasons why I left
95.
double 16 a lot, because I always felt an affiliation with that corner of the board. More recently, it's all been about just closing my eyes
60.
and doing the old
Nigeria
Happy
require
Gilmore, finding the happy
144.
place.
But opening them before you throw the dart, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, neck and neck in this leg. Heydon wants 144. Now he may come back. But what will he be facing when he does come back?
42. Robert, you
A
require
lot more than he wanted to,
140.
that's for sure.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake there.
This looks good. This looks very good.
Game
Robert
shot on the
Thornton.
6th leg. Robert Thornton.
What a shot! Shot of the day.
7th leg is Nigel to throw first. Game on.
Fabulous finishing from Thornton. He's always been deadly on double top. And he used it twice there. We spoke about this yesterday, Paul. The use of two doubles in combination finishes like that.
Well, tops used to be a Hollywood shot. Now it's the norm. Makes you think in about 10 years, what is going to be the norm?
97.
People are doing different things all the time. Darts is different to what it used to be. It doesn't have to be conventional anymore.
85.
Well, it seems logical to me to fire at the bigger target.
Especially when you're so good at it. You know, that shot there, it was a really good lie for Robert in the 60, but he knows how good he is on tops. It's a bigger bed. There's a bigger area to aim at. There's no shame in doing it that way. It looks great. And I'm sure it feels even better.
Yeah, fabulous finish. Still looks fantastic, doesn't it? Using two doubles.
42.
I remember another Scotsman in Gary Anderson doing one of the best finishes I've ever witnessed in a Grand Slam semi-final. It was 134. Hit a treble 18, a double top and a double top, and literally the two double tops were nowhere near each other. There was one on the left and one on the right. It was one of the cleanest shots I've ever seen.
44.
Everything around
Nigeria
it has still
require
been a little bit scrappy in this
164.
match. It's kind of been a diamond amongst the rocks, that finish from Robert Thornton.
Yeah, I attribute it to the way that Robert is, you know, sort of timing his throws. I think when his rhythm is good, he plays so much better. He just feels...
Look at this.
Game
Nigel
shot on the
Heydon
7th
take a
leg.
bow.
Nigel Heydon.
Thornton with a
Eighth leg's
stunning
Robert to
finish.
throw first.
And Heydon replies with a
Game on.
164 checkout on the bullseye. Take that, Robert.
respect from both players. Nice touch there from Robert.
80.
Well, I'll give you 140. I'll call you, but I'll raise you 24.
Now that was more of a Hollywood shot from Heydon because he didn't have to go for that ball.
Are we trying to call him Hollywood Heydon now?
42.
I think Chris Dobie's already got that one.
And we will see Chris Dobie later on this afternoon, last game of the afternoon session against Hurricane
82.
Hybrids.
Well, look at those. Amongst some poor scoring darts in the match, has to be said. 100 checkout from Heydon, 140 from Thornton, and then the 164. And now he's got the scoring going as well.
180.
Robert Thornton is in a scrap here against Nigel Heydon. Make no mistake about that.
Absolutely right. And
41.
if he doesn't tighten up that scoring very soon, Heydon could gazump him. Because he's the one that's definitely scoring better at the moment.
We look at the leg pattern there. 23 darts it took Heydon to win the third leg, but the fifth and seventh, 14 and 12. So he's getting better as the game goes on.
60.
That's a let-off. That was a lovely lie for Nige. Maybe dropping the dart on the floor didn't help. That's a better rhythm from Robert. And the proof's in the pudding.
180.
This leg has turned on its head in the last 6 darts.
Yeah, it's blow for blow. What can Heydon respond with?
42.
Oh no,
Robert, you require
really didn't need that.
118.
Now it's Thornton's to lose. He won a treble 18 for 12s.
44.
But rushed that dart. Don't know what you feel about that move, but that really, really was a rush dart. I think if he'd have composed himself and had the same rhythm as the first two, he would have hit that 54 with more regularity.
Well, look, he's left 74, which is a finish that's very, very doable for most professional players, for all professional players. But Nigel Heydon can apply some pressure. He's already found the treble 19. And he's found the treble 50 with the last
117.
Fabulous setup.
Robert, you require 74.
Will Robert get 2 darts? No, he'll only get 1. He won't get any. Unbelievable.
34.
That's
Nigel,
the
you
difference
require
between hitting a
60.
single 18 and a single 4. Now, he hit this yesterday, lovely. Good guide, over the top. Switch for double 10. For 4-4.
40.
Oh, he's got away with it.
And we saw Robert
you
kind of
require
celebrate
40.
behind him. He knows that this is an opportunity he cannot afford to miss.
He shouldn't. But it's difficult. Very difficult.
30. Nigel, you require 20.
Frustration on the face of Thornton.
Look at the face of Heydon. As if to say, what's going on? I expected a really good quality game today, and it's just a scrap.
Edging closer to the double.
No score.
For the last dart.
Robert, you require
But
10.
nowhere near him. Thornton hit double 5 in the very first leg of this match. His first dart went there.
Game
And this time he gets it with the last.
Robert Thornton.
Thornton leads 5-3 and only needs one more
Ladies
for the
and Nigel
win.
to throw first.
Did you notice with the third dart, he just threw it? Didn't even aim it. He
Game
was
on.
just so relaxed. And with some people that suits them, but I don't think it suits Robert Thornton when he doesn't have his rhythm. That's the last time I'm going to mention it. I'm not going to go on about it.
Well, Heydon's task now has become much harder. He has to win 3 straight legs to book his place in the next round. Thornton requires 1.
57.
You got to feel that Nigel will feel deflated. That was a great chance to get back in the running. Such a big
59.
difference between being level and having a great chance to kick on and win the match, and then being 5-3 behind, finally finding yourself, I've got to win every leg to win this match.
Every dart player will tell you you've just got to take 1 leg at a time, but it must be hard not to think, I've got to win 3 to win.
60.
Yeah. I think what Nigel's got to do is just focus on the immediate task of holding his throw here. The upside
58.
is, if he can, and he can break, he's got the throw in the last leg.
Well, level pegging in this one.
Players with experience will tell you story upon story about, I was 5-0 down, I was 5-1 down, and I still managed to win 6-5. As long as he's had that experience in the past, he can do it.
73.
Well, Thornton is not normally a switcher, but he had to switch him because that first dart was kind of hanging onto the cliff edge. And he didn't find even the big numbers that he was going for there. And that's happened on a few occasions in this match.
It has.
100.
First dart was going for a bungee jump. If he went anywhere near it, it was the sensible thing to switch.
95.
Interesting switch to the 19s with all 3 darts there.
Yeah, what Nigel Heydon will it give to see this one of these 3 darts at least going a treble. Oh, and the second one does. Now he wants another.
140.
Lovely, lovely shot from Heydon. Gives himself a chance.
Standout visit. Second dart really opened up the bed for him.
43. Nigel, you require 84.
And another loose visit from the Thorn.
Double 12, yeah.
Game shot on the
Wow.
ninth leg. Nigel Heydon.
How
Tenth leg
different
is
that
Robert
was.
to throw first.
He's done that
Game
before
on.
in this match. He had a really good leg. Got rid of it really clean. He's had a lot of chances.
60.
This could be so different. This game could be over in Nigel Heydon's favour.
Yeah, well, Robert Thornton only off 60. It just shows how quickly things can change in darts.
100.
That's the other thing about this game that's different to a lot of other sports. You've got to finish your job.
60.
You can't time waste for the last few minutes or anything like that, which we see in other sports. You've got to hit that last double.
Yeah, you can't just jab. You can't just pace make and coast.
And when you're far ahead in a match, you can't protect. You have to attack.
Yeah, it's like being able to drive the golf ball about 350
140.
yards. But if you can't putt, you won't win.
Well, listen, if Thornton doesn't find a treble in this visit, I make
58.
Heydon favourite for the leg.
I'm making Heydon favourite for the match at the moment. Even though he's behind. He looks a little bit more in touch with what the situation is demanding of him right now.
81.
Yeah, Robert Thornton has cut a frustrated figure all the way through this match. That's a nice lie for him. Oh, but he doesn't take advantage.
59.
And doesn't find a treble. And Nigel Heydon, 180 left, and looking to break and take this match to a decider. Something we're yet to see this afternoon. The last match was the closest. Terry Jenkins beating Dimitri Vandenberg 6-4. Another treble would leave a lovely setup.
100.
Well, you did ask, what does Nigel Heydon do as far as his mentality now? One leg at a time, and he's executing that plan
140. Nigel, you require 80.
This
is a
80's
shot.
under pressure now. Thornton's the kind of player that can hit that 1-2-4 from nowhere. So he's, oh, what a lie that is. What a lie.
Game shot on the 10th
There we
leg.
go.
Nigel
That
Heydon.
20 shot was
11th
absolutely
and final leg is
plumb.
Nigel to throw first. Game on.
And now, the confidence that he will get from that shot definitely puts him in the driving seat for the rest of this leg. Should he start well.
Well, Robert Thornton broke the throw in the first leg of the match. Nigel Heydon has returned it in the 10th.
100.
Which means he has the throw in the 11th and deciding leg.
100.
They're both off with a ton.
Not often you see Robert Thornton happy with 100. But these are the situations where hundreds are good scores. 100 would be brilliant now.
43.
43. Robert smells blood.
Yeah, it's his average is down at 75, Robert Thornton. It's been a funny old match because
81.
we've seen lots of missed big numbers and scrappy visits and all sorts of kind of not the best shots at the ball, but we've also seen some fabulous finishing from these players. It may take something special in
95.
this deciding leg, and that may be the difference.
I hope so. I like to watch special darts and special finishing.
The
Gotta
best,
get there. You've got to get
93.
there.
The
Key treble.
the best of those are 164 from Nigel Heydon earlier, or Robert Thornton with a 140 finish on two double tops. But all that matters now is which player
133.
finishes this leg, and Heydon's 133 setup leaves 130, and he'll be first to have a stab at finishing it off.
And was that a gamble? That was
134.
a huge gamble from
Nigel,
Nigel
you
Heydon.
require 130.
A single 19 would have left a bogey number there. By hitting that treble 19, he's on 130, and he's going to have a shot if he can hit this treble 20. Fails to do so, so Robert Thornton,
94.
what will he
Robert,
do?
you require
He's
93.
got 93. Perfect. Number 3. Right up top for tops. Hasn't done it.
73. And Nigel,
So
you
Heydon
require
has set it up.
36.
And now he can finish the job.
Well, this could be the first shock of the afternoon in Vienna. 3 seeds comfortably through. Nigel Heydon looking to put Robert Thornton to bed. Double 18 the target. He was 5-3 down, but now he's through.
Man the match,
Nigel Heydon sends Robert Thornton home with a 6-5 victory. Some fantastic moments in the match. Not the best quality all the way through, but a brilliant, brilliant win for Nigel Heydon. He moves through to the next round and will face Ian White or Simon Stevenson. They're coming next. We'll get away with Nigel Heydon first.